Rounding numbers means adjusting the digits up or down to make calculations easier. The rounded numbers are the estimated or less exact answer rather than a precise one. Rules for rounding numbers. Rule number 1. If the number you are rounding ends with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or more than 4, round the number up. Rule number 2. If the number you are rounding ends with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or less than 5, round the number down. Rounding of numbers can be in the nearest ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. The rule also apply in decimals in the nearest tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and so on. Let's memorize this one for us to solve rounding numbers easily. Let's make an example. Round the number 3,872 to the nearest tens. In this number, 3 is thousandths digit, 8 is the hundredths digit, 7 is the tens digit, and 2 is the ones digit. Can you guess the answer? Yes, it is 3,870. Rule number 2 states that if the number you are rounding ends with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or less than 5, round the number down. We are rounding 3,872 in the nearest tens, and 2 is less than 5, so the answer is 3,870. Let's make another example. Round 486 and 27 to the nearest tens. In 486, 8 is the tens digit and 6 is greater than 4. According to rule number 1, if the number you are rounding ends with 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, round the number up. Rounding the number up equals 490. Round 27 to the nearest tens. Here, 2 is the tens digit. According to rule number 1, you round the number up so the answer is 30. Rounding to the nearest hundredths. Let's make another example. Round 8,762 to the nearest hundredths. Here we see that 7 is the hundredths digit and the number to the right, which is 6, is greater than 4. Rounding 8,762 to the nearest hundredths is 8,800. Round 829 to the nearest hundredths. 8 is the hundredths digit, 2 is lower than 5. We now know that the answer is 800. Let's go to thousands. Round 98,612 and 102,196 to the nearest thousands. In 98612, 8 is the thousandths digit. 6 is the hundredths digit, 1 is the tens, and 2 is ones digit. Rule number 1 applies here since 6 is greater than 4. Rounding it to thousands is 99,000. In 102,196, 2 is the thousandths digit, and the number to its right is 1, which is lower than 5. In this case, we round the number down, so the answer is 102,000. How about rounding to the nearest ones? Same rules apply here, just locate the tens digit, and look the number to its right. If the number to the right is greater than 4, round the number up. If it is lower than 5, round the number down. Let's set an example. Round 69,423.96 and 81.27 to the nearest ones. In this number, 3 is the ones digit. Not 9 because there is a decimal point in between 3 and 9. The number to its right is greater than 4, so the answer is 69,424. 81.27. Here, 1 is the ones digit and the number to its right is lower than 5, so rounding the number to ones is 81. Let's familiarize or memorize this because this is important in rounding decimal numbers. The number after the decimal point, which is 1, is the tenths, 2 is hundredths, 3 is thousandths, and 4 is 10,000ths. Now let's round off decimal numbers. Rounding decimals works exactly the same way as rounding whole numbers. The only difference is you round it to tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and so on. When rounding decimals, look at the number in the place you are rounding in and the number that follows it. Apply the rules and you will get the final answer. Let's have an example. Round 10.28 to the nearest tenths. The number after the decimal point is 2, which is the tenths digit. The number to its right is 8, which is greater than 4. Rule number 1 applies here, so rounding off 10.28 to the nearest tenths is 10.3, the same as 10.30. Round off 21.32 to the nearest tenths. 3 is the tenths digit and the number to its right is lower than 5, so the answer is 21.3. Round off 62.387 and 0.932 to the nearest hundredths. In 62.387, 3 is the tenths, and 8 is the hundredths. The number to its right is greater than 4, so the answer is 62.39. In 0.932, 3 is the hundredths and the number to its right is lower than 5, rounding it to hundredths is 0.930. Round 0.8788 and 18.2321 to the nearest thousandths. In 0.8788, 8 is the thousandths and the number to its right is greater than 4, so the answer is 0.879. In 18.2321, 2 is the thousandths, and the number to its right is lower than 5, so the answer is 18.2320. Now, let's solve these few exercises. Please subscribe to my channel Senrive TV and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you.